What's going on, my people? What's going on? I'm Eugene Napoleon. This is Napoleon's Corner. Hope all is well. This is episode 87. Episode 87. Before I even get started, please, you already know, I'm going to ask you to please subscribe to the channel. Napoleon's Corner is a channel, and the subscriptions definitely help. When you smash the like button and subscribe, it helps to build my subscription base, and I greatly appreciate it. So, episode 87, brought and paid for. That's the topic of today's episode, brought and paid for. It's an interesting topic based on what we believe we have to do to reach some level of success, brought and paid for. So what does it really mean? When you break it down in essence, are you willing to give up your morals? Are you willing to give up your character? Are you willing to give up everything that you know to be right because you want to be successful? That's an interesting line of questioning in the topic. That's the reason why I decided to do this. Brought and paid for me is when you know you're chasing something. And sometimes when we chase, you got to be very careful, because depending on what you're chasing, if you're chasing money, power, that doesn't ordinarily or doesn't necessarily mean it's going to equal somebody respecting you. I'm going to say it again. If you're chasing money and power, that doesn't always equal respect. So for me, when I look at that, be very careful what you chase. There's a lot of things out here that you can chase and you think that it's worthwhile, where you're going to give up your morals, you're going to give up your integrity just to chase a dollar. You're bought and paid for already. I don't think people really understand that concept. Anytime you're out doing things that you know you have no business doing, and I don't care what industry it's in, every time you sacrifice what you know is to be morally correct because you chasing the bag, so to speak, you're bought and paid for. The industry itself, no matter what industry it is, you're bought and paid for already. You've compromised yourself. You really played yourself in a way, because no matter what you say or do, if there's somebody sitting on top of you and you feel as though their validation is more important than your morals, or their validation is more important than your integrity, it's more important than you doing what's right, man, you're a sellout. You're bought and paid for. That's what I mean by that. So this topic today was spawned by, obviously, you sit back and you're looking at what's going on in the industry and you're hearing all the feedback with Kanye West and all these other different people and the things that they're doing and saying. And then you're trying to figure out why are individuals saying and doing certain things. There's a catch to it. The excuses of, oh, just that person is that person because, or he or she is doing this to get, it's like clout chasing, so to speak, or they're marketing something. It's okay. That person, they get a pass. That person is okay. I've never lived my life that way. And it's not okay to give someone a pass when the very essence of what they're saying is affecting so many other people. Makes you push the pause button. So for me, I've always believed in, you let people live, let them do what they do. But when it comes to watching something that's being said or something that's being done, and it affects a lot of other people, you really have to pay close attention to that, because the excuse on the other side of it, like I said, oh, that's so-and-so, give them a pass. Well, what happens on the flip side of that same scenario? The people that are being hurt, be it a singular individual person or a group of people, do they get a pass? No, they don't get a pass, meaning that they're affected by it. They're impacted by it. They don't get a pass. They're going to go through whatever strife or whatever struggle or whatever negative impact that they're getting from this. You understand? They don't get a pass. So for me, I don't believe in that. Brought and paid for means when you knowingly are doing something that is sacrificing the very morals of which you stand on or however you were raised, but yet you still do it because you're chasing validation, you're bought and paid for. The system itself, our industry, the music industry, the entertainment industry, the scope of it all, everybody gets caught up in the celebrity. They don't get caught up in the person, the real people. You get caught up in the celebrity. So when the celebrity forget who they really are, in the celebrity, that alter ego takes precedence and steps in front of the real person, therein lies a real big problem. Because then you allow the industry, whatever that industry is, it can be professional sports, it can be entertainment, it can be movies, so actors, actresses, whenever that celebrity pushes aside the real person, you've been brought and paid for. Because everything that you know is right, you just decided to push that to the side and allowed whatever this industry is, whatever that celebrity status is, whatever that money power is, you allowed that to take number one precedence in your life. And then years later, you start to hear people when they're going through their depression state and they're going through the different things. The rise is interesting, but the fall is something that's even more interesting. The rise is interesting, but the fall is even more interesting. Because the same people, you're going to see the same people on the way up as you do on the way down. And this is why I always say, be very careful of how you treat people. Respect is key, man. Respect is so key. Never get to a point where just because you have, you don't know what anybody has in the bank. So the perception is something different too. So never get to a point where you believe that just because you have clout, power, money, that it gives you license to treat someone disrespectfully or to treat someone as if they're not your equal. I thank my mother every single day of how she raised me when it comes to that moral code of respect, humility, being a human being about your situations, no matter what the problems are. When you can't sit down and talk to your fellow human being, your fellow man or woman or child about a situation because you feel like your celebrity or your status is so grandiose that you forget how to be a human being in those situations, you're brought and paid for. The industry got you, no matter what industry that may be, because you've compromised and you've given up what it means to be a moral thinking individual with a code of ethics that's going to allow you to move in a certain way, to treat people in a certain way, and to garner the respect from many that you need to, because you didn't throw away all of that stuff trying to chase a bag or trying to chase clout or trying to chase something that in the long run is not going to help you anyway. You can't take it with you anyway. Keep that in mind. Respect for other people, respect for the way you were brought up, respect for a moral code and integrity. You don't compromise that ever. I don't care what the bag looks like, what the celebrity status looks like. So I'm just saying, don't be brought and paid for. Be authentically who you are. Be great in your own light. Stop worrying about what everybody else is doing, and you'll be fine. Trust. It's the easiest and the best way to live, man. When you can be authentically you and feel good about that. Feel good about being in your own skin. Don't worry about what somebody else is doing. You don't want to trade your bag for theirs because you don't know what's in their bag. You know what's in yours, though, but you don't know what's in their bag. So keep your bag. I'm Eugene Napoleon. This is Napoleon's Corner. I'll see you next week. Take care.